Great to see you all, fellow educators. Let's dive into today's episode together. In this session, we're diving into a fantastic teaching method that's particularly effective in elementary classrooms. It's called visual metaphors. So let us unpack this method and see how you can bring it to life in your own classroom. But first, why is this method so great for elementary students? Well, it's because it speaks directly to the way young learners think and learn best. Visual metaphors taps into the power of imagery and interactivity, which are essential to the elementary experience. Kids at this age are naturally curious and energetic, and this approach keeps them engaged and excited about learning. Now, let's get practical. How can you implement visual metaphors in your lessons? Let's break it down into simple steps. Step 1, choose a metaphor that resonates with the concept you want to teach. For example, if you're teaching about problem solving, you might use the metaphor learning is like solving a puzzle. If you're teaching about teamwork, you could say working together is like building a tower. Each of us is a different color block, and we all fit together to make something great. Once you have your metaphor, it's time to make it visual. Draw or display images that represent your metaphor. For our problem-solving example, you might show a picture of a puzzle or a detective. For the teamwork metaphor, you could use a picture of a tower or a group of animals working together. Next, let's engage our young learners. Ask open-ended questions about the metaphor. For instance, what does it mean to solve a puzzle? Or how does a detective solve a mystery? Guide the students to connect the metaphor to the lesson. Then it's time to apply the lesson to real-life scenarios. Help students understand how the concept they've learned can be used in different situations. This could involve role-playing, group discussions, or even writing activities. As teachers, we want our students to reflect on their learning. So take some time to ask questions like, how did using this metaphor help you understand the lesson better? Or can you think of other metaphors that could help you remember this concept? These questions encourage critical thinking and help students make connections between the visual metaphor and the underlying concept. Let's not forget the importance of making learning fun and memorable. Use colorful materials, props, or even costumes to bring your visual metaphors to life. For example, if you're teaching about fractions, you could use a pizza cut into slices to represent parts of a whole. Encourage students to participate actively in creating the visual aids. This hands-on approach will help them internalize the concepts more effectively. And here's a bonus tip: cater to different learning styles. Visual metaphors are great for visual and kinesthetic learners, but don't forget about auditory and tactile learners. Provide options for students to express their understanding in various ways. For instance, allow students to record audio explanations of their drawings or to create tactile models of their metaphors. This flexibility will make the learning experience more inclusive and effective for all students. Remember, good preparation is key to a successful lesson. Before you start, think about how you will assess students' understanding of the visual metaphors. Will they create drawings, write descriptions, or engage in class discussions? By considering these assessment methods, you can tailor your instruction to meet the needs of all learners. For those students who need additional support, provide simplified metaphors or more structured activities. For advanced learners, offer more complex metaphors or challenge them to create their own. Differentiation is an important part of creating an inclusive classroom where all students can thrive. Visual metaphors are a versatile teaching method that can be used across various subjects and grade levels. Let's look at a few examples. In science, you could use the metaphor plants are like little factories that make their own food to teach about photosynthesis. In social studies, you could use the metaphor maps are like treasure maps to engage students in learning about geographical concepts. In math, you could use the metaphor numbers are like building blocks to introduce basic arithmetic. And in art class, you could use the metaphor colors are like emotions to explore color theory and expression. As you can see, the possibilities are endless. So don't be afraid to experiment and have fun with your students. Visual metaphors are a powerful tool for bringing abstract concepts to life. By using this method, you can create a dynamic and engaging learning environment that helps students see the world in new ways. So give it a try and watch your students' creativity and understanding blossom. Thanks for tuning in, fellow educators. Until next time, happy teaching, and remember, learning is an adventure. Embrace the journey with your students and let their curiosity guide the way.